Aveline!
Hello, Hawke.
That's it?
What? Oh, right. Sorry. It feels like we just talked. I've been keeping an eye on you. Information is one of the few perks of this job. Watch out for Bartrand. He's a son of a bitch.
You know I don't like it when you have people watch me.
Saved me camping on your doorstep. After what we went through to get here, well, you're no child, but I take care of my friends. The places they have me patrolling, I've got time.
A person in your position. Seems like they might learn some profitable things.
You know better than to ask that.
One day you'll be frustrated enough to go for it.
It's like I'm sitting on my hands. There are dangerous people in this city. In fact, I might have a job for you. Let me know if you want to do a favor for Kirkwall. Otherwise, I'm here if you need me. Maker knows I could use more satisfying work.
Seems like Kirkwall suits you.
It has been a challenge. Lots of opportunity, if you're the type the locals want.
Are you?
If you argue enough, you kind of convince yourself.
It's been a year settling in. Are you all right?
You don't need to coddle me. I am where I am. How close I hold my memories is my own business.
This must be a very different pace from serving King Kalen.
I love that life, but there's a new king for a new Ferelden. Seems cocksure, but I guess he was there when the Archdemon fell. Can't fault an active hand. It's just one more change, though. The real end for me was Ostagar. You and Carver must have felt something similar. I don't know if that's right to say. I barely knew him.
Death on that scale certainly has a finality to it.
Sometimes I wonder.
The Blight is over. You could go back to Lothering.
That wasn't home for me. It was just where the Horde pressed us. It wasn't the first village I saw fall. But you don't get used to people losing everything.
It's not how I wanted to say goodbye. I'll say that.
You can't go home again. That's supposed to be about maturity. It's not the same if you don't have the option.
All right, Aveline. You have something worth doing?
My patrols may be empty walks in the dark, but there's something big coming up, and I could use you. An ambush, probably for a caravan, although I can't find any shipments that match up. Doesn't matter though. Highwaymen waiting for someone to rob. I'm putting a stop to it, my district or not.
Do you have a name or anything else to go on?
Not important. If we show up and they attack, they're bad. Simple as that. I'll wager it's smugglers though. Like I said, seems like an obvious trap for a caravan.
You've been nosing around outside your commission.
I have contacts, and they're complaining about a lack of meat. Thugs and such. Someone is hiring. And one or two were told to prepare for travelers. You want to be good at this job? You pay attention to what's missing, and when people arrange escape routes.
Seems like you'd want to share this with your fellow guards.
I will, if you sit on your hands. I'll send my alerts, and someone else will lead a patrol. But there's profit and influence to be had. You're my friend, so I'm offering.
I'm no guard, Aveline.
There's only so many of us. Temporary recruits are expected time to time, as long as they're competent. You still claim to be competent, right?
All right, Aveline. I'll play guard for you.
I knew I could count on you. They're hidden up Sundermount, remote and rough, but we can make good time with a shortcut this side. And no, you can't run off and do it without me. I trust you, but I have to be there. You're acting on behalf of the Guard.
Are you really not afraid of apostates? Not even a little?
Sunshine, I'm a dwarf, in case you missed that detail.
Dwarves aren't completely immune to magic, you know.
No. I meant there are at least 30 people in this town who'd murder my family over trade deals. Who has time to worry about apostates with a merchant's guild breathing down your neck.
In that case, I see.
My. If it isn't Hawke.
Still up to old tricks, Elegant?
Lady Elegant, if you don't mind. I'm a married woman now. Last time we met, you were still in Athenral's employ. Things have been going well since then?
Could be better. Could be worse.
I often feel the same way. You may recall I sometimes provided potions for Athenral. I'd be willing to extend you the same courtesy if you like. All I ask is you inform me of any interesting reagents you find. In exchange, I'll approach my contacts on your behalf. And of course you'll need the appropriate recipes, such as this one. Free, for old time's sake.
So, here's the thing. We need to find a way into the deep roads. Bartrand can lead us to the right place once we're down there, but we need a good entrance.
Any entrance would do, wouldn't it? Well, unless a dragon's sitting in it, I suppose.
We need an entrance that's close to our destination, but isn't already plundered or filled with darkspawn. Fortunately, I've received some new information. There's a Grey Warden in the city. If anyone knows how to get down there, it'll be him.
Why would a Grey Warden know that?
The Wardens don't just fight darkspawn. They forge into the deep roads all the time. And if he doesn't know, he might be able to point us to those who do.
Are there any other options?
None at the moment. Bartrand had an entrance lined up, but it was a bust. I'll keep looking, but if we don't find something, we'll have a fancy expedition with nowhere to go.
Sounds like you have it all planned out, Varric.
And that, Messer, is why I'm here. Supposedly, this Grey Warden came in with some other Ferelden refugees not long ago. A Lowtown woman named Lorene has been helping the Fereldans. We talk to her. Maybe we learn where he is. I'll keep after my contacts, see if I can drum up any other work.
Your family used to be noble, right?
By some definition of the term.
Do you ever wonder what your life would have been like if you were still nobles?
Sunshine, nobility is just an expensive lifestyle. I've already got one of those.
Nobles have power too, and responsibilities.
Estates, servants, investments, mercenaries, assassins. We've still got all those things. It's sunnier here, and nobody calls me my lord. I think I can live with that.
Hard to believe they left me nothing.
Well, Mother was pretty... steamed when you ran off with your Ferelden apostate.
I'm still their daughter, their eldest. My children have been in servitude for a year. They should be nobility.
If wishes were poppy, we'd all be dreaming.
You mean this is real? No wonder I can't wake up.
And here I thought that Ferelden you ran off with was a mage, not a jester. Your mother was supposed to marry the Comte de Launcey, and instead she ran off with some Ferelden apostate. You don't get to stay the favorite when you do that.
Where is Father's will? If I could just see for myself.
It's not here, all right? It was read, it went in the vault. No one needed to look at it again.
I know the Amells were nobility, Mother, but not much else. Why don't you ever talk about them?
The Amells have been a noble family in Kirkwall since Garahel drove out the Fourth Blight. But we've always carried magic in our blood. It's been a stain on our lineage. No family of good standing would ever marry into a line with magic. When I chose your father, I was bringing more magic into our line, not less. I think that's what hurt my parents the most.
Did Grandfather mention Mother in his will at all?
Our father died when you were still in Pinafores, girl. You can hardly expect me to remember.
Sounds like a yes to me.
That touched a nerve. What's in there that you don't want us to see?
Nothing. But you won't be seeing the bloody thing. It's still locked up on the estate, and that's long out of my hands.
You didn't take your parents' will.
It was old news. You think I've been sitting here for 25 years waiting for Leandra to slink back?
Who bought the estate, Gamlen? Perhaps I could speak to them. Was it the Reinhardts?
No one you know. Get used to Lowtown, sister. That's where we're going to stay.
So, I hate thinking badly of family. But did Uncle Gamlen seem a little slippery when he talked about Grandfather's will? If he, say, invested money that was meant to be Mother's, do you think he would tell us?
Gamlen can't say good morning without lying twice.
Mother's been in such a fit of melancholy since Gamlen told her how angry her parents were about Father. She told me she wishes she'd died with Carver. It's like coming here ruined every good memory of her childhood. I wish we could get some of it back.
Unless we somehow turn Gamlen into an upstanding citizen, what's done is done.
Gamlen told me he gave the estate as payment to some slaver who beat him at dice. Apparently, our ancestral home is now a base for slavers from all over Thedas.
Gamlen couldn't have just sold himself and saved us all the trouble.
Can you just imagine him sweeping and scrubbing for some Tevinter matriarch? Seriously though, those scum have no right to our family's things. We should break in there. Get the will for Mother. I already talked to both of them about this. Gamlen said they guard the front entrance well. But Mother gave me her old key. She said it should unlock the cellar. Apparently the sewers run right beneath the house.
Get out of my face! Your mother's bad enough. I don't need you nagging me.
He wasn't like this in Lothering. I think he misses the open fields.
Come on. Let's play Fetch the Invisible Ball.
Poor thing. Maybe he'd be happier if we brought him with us more often.
But if he's with us, who'd keep Gamlen's debt collectors away?
Take it. I'm sick of what's-his-name staring and panting.
Gamlen, honestly, a Mabari understands what you say. Try using his name.
What's wrong with dog? Real easy to remember.
Come on, boy. This is no time to play dead. The house won't clean itself, Uncle. I think this is the same cheese that was here a year ago. I feel itchy just looking at that thing. Looks like the dog's trying to tunnel his way out of this hovel. Can't blame him. Tom Wise?
Huh? Oh, Hawke. Haven't seen you since we did that job together for Athenra. Been a while. Heard you're going on some expedition into the Deep Roads. And right into Darkspawn territory. Sure that's wise?
We can't all make a living in the Undercity.
Just watch your back. That's all I'm saying. Say, you still in the market for some poisons? Athenril's scarce these days, and the coterie have their own mixers. You find any rare reagents and want me to whip you up something, just let me know. In fact, since you're an old friend, here's a recipe. My speciality. Everyone needs an edge sometimes, right?
Varric, do you do anything?
Am I the next stop in your career evaluations? Joy of joys.
You watch and you talk. Is that it?
You are dismissing hallmarks of both the utterly ineffectual and the incredibly dangerous.
I don't know what you mean.
It means coins flow when I talk and when I shut up. Like if you got paid to guard or unguard.
That makes no sense.
Good.
I think this is the cellar door. Crest. Mother described it, but this is the first time I've seen it. Wouldn't it feel like something to live in a house with this above the door?
I don't like the looks of this.
That should do it.
After this, I knew I should have slit his throat.
That's enough!
This is it! Grandfather's will. Mother needs to see this as soon as possible.
We'll take it to her right now.
So I'm just saying, blood's blood and all, but you are taking advantage of my hospitality. It's only fair if you make something of a monthly contribution.
You sold my children into servitude. Now you're asking me to pay rent?
Maybe just put something towards food.
You should be paying us, Uncle. We found the will.
He forgave you, Mother. Grandfather left you everything. Here, read it.
I should... maybe...
To my daughter Leandra, and all children born of her, the estate in Hightown and all associated revenues.
Check out the part where Gamlen is left only a stipend, to be controlled by you.
Gamlen, how could you?
You're the one who ran away, Leandra. What happened to love is so much more important than money.
It is!
You didn't even come home for the funeral.
The twins were a week old.
We all have our burdens. Mine was looking after a life you abandoned. How long was I supposed to wait?
I doubt you let the ashes get cold.
I took care of Father. I stayed. And on his deathbed, all he could talk about was Leandra. Look, sister, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done it, but I did. And there's nothing I can do to get it back.
I don't expect that, Gamlen. It's enough to know Mother and Father didn't die angry. I'll petition the Viscount for rights to reclaim the estate. Make her willing, you'll have your house back within weeks.
You don't have the coin or standing to even get an audience with the Viscount. You've got to be someone in this city to live in that house again.
Then I had better get started.
Why don't you go pick up something at the market? You could use some air.
What? Hey!
I can't believe Gamlen stole Mother's entire inheritance. I mean, I can believe it. That's the worst part. I could never turn against my own sister like that.
Don't make any hasty promises.
Joke all you want, but you make Gamlen look like the toad he is. You know, when we went to look for that will, I thought we were doing it for Mother, for what she lost. I didn't realize how much it would mean to me. To know I had grandparents who didn't hate me.
They might have been all right with the Ferelden thing. But just imagine if they'd known you were an apostate.
You're such a wretch. I was just hoping it would be different this time. Here in Kirkwall. We're not running away again. We're coming home.
Are you unhappy here?
I wish I could do more for Mother. Carver's death. It's killing her slowly every day. But maybe if we can reclaim some of what she lost, it will help. I'd do anything to get us back a normal life.
Why did Mother and Father work so hard to keep you from the Circle? Would it have been so bad?
I guess at first, I was just a little girl. They didn't want to lose me. And once I had learned anything, what would the Templars do to an active apostate, not just a mageblood child? It changed their lives, your life, Carver's, all because of who I am. Sometimes I wonder if it would have been so bad to be with my own kind, to serve the Chantry as Andraste demands.
What do you think Carver would have made of all this?
He would have hated this place, all the sneering nobles. He'd have gotten himself arrested the first day. And he would have wanted in on your Deep Roads expedition. Anything to make a name for himself. Sometimes I still can't believe he's gone.
Can you imagine if we'd grown up here? Been nobility?
Had grandparents who bought us Orlesian silk dresses with lace petticoats. Father was a good man, but Mother gave up so much for him. Of course, if she hadn't worked up the nerve to elope, she probably wouldn't have been able to resist the Templars either. If we'd been born here, you'd been nothing more to me than a name the Circle kept in my file.
Let's see if Mother gets us that mansion. I don't want to call anywhere Uncle Gamlen is home.
Has he moved that bowl of porridge since we've been here? It's been a year. I can't even remember what it was like to have a place of our own. I might even take the Circle if they'll give me a clean bed and my own sheets.
I think this is a picture of Mother. She looks like you.
Where did you get that? Was it at the estate? Let me see. Is it? I think this is Mother's betrothal portrait from when she was supposed to marry the Comte. Look! You can see the ring.
I suppose it would have been a bit awkward to take it with her.
I know she loved Father. I guess I just wondered if she'd have been happier if he hadn't been a mage. If I wasn't a mage. I know that made it hard for Mother. It's nice to have a reminder of a time when she still knew how to smile.
When I told your grandmother I was marrying your father, she threatened to disown me. She said my children would be mongrels. My father wanted to lock me in, but she told him it's her life, let her ruin it. I wrote to her when each of you were born. She never wrote back. I'm glad she didn't die hating me.
The estate is yours. Why are we still here?
Technically, the house is now property of the Viscount, since its owner died without an heir. If we went there now, we would just be squatters. But if the Viscount acknowledges our rights, we can get back more than the house. We can get back our name.
Your mother's dead. Let it go.
When I was a girl, your grandmother was the young, beautiful, noble mother all my friends wished they had. She might have had a hard time accepting it at first, but she would have loved you, all three of you. Carver. He was such a little boy. Never had a knee that wasn't scraped or trousers without holes.
He was so young. Never got to be the man he wanted.
I just keep thinking there's something we could have done. It's killing me. I remember that awful creature reaching down and 18 years of loving and feeding and raising, and that was it.
At least you're past the "it's all your fault."
I'm sorry, love. I was distraught. I never really believed that. It's just... I miss him. There were 4 of us when the Blight began. It will never be over while there are just 3. I've written to the Viscount. I've an audience for after Bartran's expedition leaves. I couldn't do anything for Carver, but with luck, I can at least give us a home.
Keep it down, dog. All that noisy dog breath, day in, day out, make him stop.
Well, pardon my dog for breathing. If you think you can stop him, be my guest.
There, isn't that annoying? Ah, Blight take you. So, what? Are you here to gloat? Gamlen's the idiot again. Gamlen's the fool who can't hold his money when it's given in a bloody silver basket. I tried, you know, when Leandra left. But no one was ever going to live up to her.
What was she like? As a girl?
We're only a year apart. But that was time enough for Leandra to get our parents wrapped firmly around her little finger. They showed her off at every opportunity. The beauty, the scholar, the light of their lives. As far as they were concerned, they should have stopped there.
I've seen the nobles in this town. Your parents must have had a fortune. Where did it all go?
Well, it's not like I stood at the side of the wharf and hurled it over. I tried to invest it. I got some good tips on trade in Kunari cheeses. And, you know, a man's got needs. I'm not denying I spent more on myself than I should have, but I figured it'd all work out.
So, the best way to make Daddy love you was to steal his money?
I changed their filthy sheets and wiped their chins through 2 bouts of the cholera, and the last word Father said was... Leandra. I'm not looking for love. But at least I got the money.
And here I was, just about to like you.
There might be some stragglers before the main group. Nothing we can't handle.
That should do it.
Well equipped for bandits, but dead is dead and the road is clear. Captain Jevon needs to know of this. Back to the barracks for your just reward.
Hawke, long time no see, my friend.
Well, if it isn't Worthy, the dwarf with the incredibly ironic name.
I only advertise the truth. You aren't still working for Athenril, are you? Your year must be up by now.
Still trying to ferret out everyone's business, I see.
Of course. How else do you expect a dwarf to make a living? I'll tell you what. I still have my old contacts. You need some rune crafting done, I can arrange it for you. Take care, Hawke. Don't get dead.
Maybe I should put you to use, Varric. Have you penned some warnings for the lawless?
Who's that for? Are most criminals big readers? Seems like pacifying the nobles.
Pictures, then. It was just a suggestion.
Well, how about a giant sign that just says don't? You could hit people with it.
Thank you. I get the point. Barracks, but there's nowhere I'd rather be. There's Jevon's office. Wait while I explain our initiative.
I don't know how they do it where you're from, guardswoman, but I decide the patrols. not you and your whims. You may have been put up for lieutenant in your first year, but I'll have no show-offs in my command. Have I made myself clear? Report to your post before I have you and your Ferelden accomplice jailed.
Well, what a charming fellow.
I don't have to like him, but he could at least listen. Bandits are dead. That's all that should matter. It's not the first time he's made me wonder like this. Something is very wrong.
This is probably a bad time to discuss my bill with him.
He'll jail you. I don't doubt that. The rest, though... Well, the duty roster will have my next patrol. Sounds like I'll have plenty of time to follow you around. Threaten my friends. Not letting that one go, Captain.
I have made this place a sanctum of healing and salvation. Why do you threaten it? Over the years, he's taken dozens of our children, and not once has he paid for his crime.
There comes a time when you must stop running, when you turn and face the tiger.
Forcing mages into servitude is not the way to prevent the rise of another Imperium.
Tell my father. I'm sorry.